There are two major points the Committee on Transportation wants to know from GRTA Committee Chairperson Senator Tom Abbott.
The status of efforts to really end the month-to-month contracting of services that's being provided to the mass transit, which has been ongoing since 2003. The status of efforts to expend approximately $1.2 million that's been made available by the federal government to purchase new buses.
The first issue would put a stop to the current month-to-month contract that GRTA has been paying $220,000 per month to continue with Kloppenberg Enterprises, and instead put out a request for proposal to bring on a long-term contractor for up to 5 years. GRTA Interim Director Felix Dunca says the issue currently sits with the Attorney General's office.
We recognize that this is a legal issue that has to be addressed in the courts. And we've been in communication and meetings with the Attorney General's office this past month. We've had a series of meetings. And they are reviewing that court order from 2003. And they're going to be taking the lead in addressing how do we get past that.
But Dunca says the agency is not waiting around to fine-tune the details for the anticipated RFP.
The documents that we put together, we've been crafting up and sort of tweaking it and rewording it to be in an RFP format.
As for the concern about the $1.5 million from the federal government to purchase new buses, Dunca says the agency is gearing up to proceed with procurement for 8 paratransit buses and 4 fixed-route buses. He is hoping to have the additional buses before the end of the fiscal year. Despite the funding, Dunca says the agency only gets $4 million a year in its budget from both the local and federal appropriations. He says the low figure is forcing them to consider other options to bring in revenue.
There is a law that allows this agency to install parking meters in the Great Hagåtña area, just like parking meters you see in every city.
Right.
Yeah, that law is still in the books, so that's another potential source of revenues.
He adds bus riders are also noticing the transit authority's shortfalls.
There have been complaints. There have been rights denials, no-shows. Whenever you cut back services from a 15 bus fleet to 10 buses, we already knew that there's going to be a fallout.
I can understand that, of course, the cost of operating those services has been increasing. And I don't believe that the fare has been increased for a number of years. So I really don't know whether they've even explored that.